you don't need to hear me babble all the time, even especially when I'm gonna cut in. Haha, I'm cutting in and reading, but just so that they're not for my usual readings. I was going to cut out and read two periodic table poems that appear in the most recent issue of cc&d magazine before Locked Doors, because I don't know if they had locked doors in Pompeii for this case. But the poem I was going to read from this also appears in the periodic table of poetry. What? I know I keep showing off these books, but somebody keeps sending stuff to me with these periodic table stuff, and so I have to oblige and follow up with poetry. He says he really appreciates it, so I hope he does. So, and it was fun doing them in shows in Chicago too. So this is the poem from the periodic table of poetry and cc&d, and it is for Erbium. Erbium, get ready, get ready. On the East Coast, shopping once with a gay friend of mine, I walked past a guard at an empty clothing store to browse for clothes. My friend held up a pink shirt to ask my opinion. I looked at it and then at him, and I said, I'm not a pink person. And then we both turned to the clothing racks. I walked to a farther rack and I pulled out this goth girl's color of choice, held up a black shirt for his opinion. And since he was farther away, he responded loud enough to confuse the large African-American guard when he said, I'm not a black person. And I don't care if pink is the largest ad campaign for a national lingerie company. And okay, the pink ribbon is to honor my mom for breast cancer research, but I've never had a love the color until I heard of metals glowing in a brilliant pink luminescence. Because in the science of spectroscopy, analyzing light from chemicals through a prism, scientists discovered stunning pink crystals that glinted alluringly, that would glow even more brilliantly into fluorescent lights. That has to be the element erbium, and any erbium compounds are invariably faint pink. And wait a minute, why am I going on about erbium when it's very distinct pinkness? Well, there were spectrographic bands of the infrared part of the spectrum of erbium, and these allow erbium to not scatter light or data in optical fibers, kind of like all those phone calls, the internet data transfer like we're doing right now. Optical fibers are gossamer thin threads of glass, and they are a rare optical perfection that needs just the right element to carry our voices or carry our data without losing it to the atmosphere. And if that element has to be pink, then I guess erbium can give me another reason to like the color pink too. That was for erbium, and yeah, I did read that in a show from the Waiting for the Bus, which isn't doing anything in Chicago anymore, but they had a show, and I did something with my co-host at the Gallery Cabaret, Bob Rashkow. I was like, he always wears plaid. I'll wear a plaid shirt, and we'll do back and forth. And I did periodic table poems, and this show was called This Poetry is Money, I think is what it was. And so we just had stuff about the elements and did the little thing, and it was fun. But it is always important that I have to share a periodic table Twitter length one, because as I said, this next little short one, which has nothing to do with that one, not only appears in cc&d, but also appears in Twitterverse periodic table poetry. I got too many books in this library. Twitterverse periodic table poetry. And it's a really tiny one, and it's a totally different theme. And it is titled Erbium and REEs from Fly Ash. Don't know how material-intensive renewable energy is? Try 1,000% more rare earth elements, like erbium. And how relieved are we to learn that REEs can be mined from waste in burning coal, fly ash, from a reusable liquid. So, let's take toxic waste and make the world a better place. I read that at the Gallery Cabaret in 2022. I think I have this shot. Actually, I might have this shot as one of my Facebook picture things, because I've got my recycle logo in my jacket from the Gallery Cabaret, which was a fun time. But ladies and gentlemen, that was my little one for you guys. Yeah, I try to get a shot with fly ash. You can't really see what it is, but I'm trying, ladies and gentlemen. But they're available online in color. They're in the book in black and white. That's why I thought I'd show it in color. But that's enough of my talking, and that's enough of my element stuff right now as I butt in, because I believe Susan was next on the list, and then after that would be Lorna. We're gonna have a woman parade here. So Susan, the stage is yours, my darling. Take it away.